Okay.
It looks pretty good over there.
Next 6 o'clock, whenever you're ready.
It is. Okay. All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Welcome everybody to the Smith Center City Council meeting for December 11th, 2023. Looks like the first thing we need to do is approve the minutes from November 27th, 2023, and also approve vouchers and receipts to pay the bills. Is there any discussion about the minutes from November 27th? If not, we need a motion to approve. Moved by Tracy, you got a second? Second by Dave. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Vouchers and receipts, so we need to pay the bills. Everybody get through those? Yeah, okay. We need a motion to approve the vouchers and receipts.
So moved.
So moved by Dave. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Brady. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. The heading number 3 here on ongoing business on the pay scale. Unless somebody objects, I'd like to move that towards the end so we can focus on that at the end. In other new business, the C&B licenses, it looks like we got cereal malt beverage licenses up for Casey's, Pizza Hut, Gene's Heartland Foods, and Dollar General. Nothing new there, correct, Jill?
Everything is in order. All the applications are complete.
Okay. So unless there's any discussion there, I'll make that motion to approve Casey's Pizza Hut, Gene's Heartland, and Dollar General for cereal malt beverage license.
I'll second it.
Second by Brady. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Okay. Departmental reports. Jamie, have you got anything for us?
One thing I've got for you is I'm working on year-end stuff and working on updating the policy manual. So hopefully after the first year, I can get the Tabitha and get it in you guys so you can approve it. So
We haven't had any more applicants yet, have we?
Yep.
Nothing? Zero. Okay. Anybody have anything for Jamie?
Nope.
Nope. I do not either. Thank you, Jamie. Mr. Rick? You're up.
I have something that I'd like to bring up for number 3 at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
But for right now, I got a hold of Downey Drilling on that pump for the golf course. And it's not 100% for sure that they can rebuild that pump if it's all pitted and stuff. So I told him, I said, okay, if you guys are on your way by, go in someplace, stop and pull that pump out, take and see if it's rebuildable, go in and rebuild it. It can set on my floor because as of right now, it's like 3 months out to order a pump, and this is not even the pump season. So we don't want to get into early spring and decide if we need a new pump in the stupid thing, and then we can't get one for 8 months.
Is this the main pump at the?
is.
Did we just replace that?
2020.
Okay, man.
Is
it
that a
seemed like it
1
was-
horse pump or what is that? 3 horse?
I don't know, Trace.
Is that the one we put out here?
No, that's the one that's in the main well for the sprinkler system at the
Oh,
golf course. It's the one that
Okay.
runs all the water to the sprinkler system. And
Oh, it's probably like a 4 or 5 horsepower.
yeah, it's bigger.
Yeah.
But I just figured there's no sense taking a chance, and if they pull it up there and they can't rebuild it because it's pitted, because that sewer water does that.
Yep.
And that way we'd know we'd have time to decide what else we're gonna do or whatever. So that's what they're gonna do. That's all I got.
Anybody have anything for Rick?
I don't.
Mr. Brady?
Nope.
No, I do not either. It's December. We might get some snow or ice one of these days. Are we ready as far as you know?
Oh, yeah.
City standpoint?
We're ready to wait.
Okay.
Just keep waiting.
Just keep waiting. That's right.
Forecaster said no moisture till after the first year.
There's a
Significant amount.
snow or, because we're supposed to get a chance of rain this week, I think.
Spring.
Thursday.
Probably.
Jill, what do you have?
Just a couple of items. In your packet, you'll see the renewal from Guardian Dental. There are no changes on the rates. These are effective February 1 of 2024. And that will need a motion for renewal.
I'll make the motion to renew that.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor and a second by Tracy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved on the Guardian Dental.
Thank you. Next is just on general public transportation. As you know, we're still down a vehicle. Haven't heard back on the transmission, but the state has come through with a 2020 Ford Transit van that they are going to transfer us at no cost to us. We'll have to go pick it up, but again, all of that cost is reimbursable 80% by KDOT. It is in Harbor County, so it's a little ways off, but we've got a few drivers willing to go and get it picked up for us as soon as we get everything lined out with the state. I sent back their paperwork on Thursday, I think it was, and I'm still waiting to see. And then, of course, my thought process is the way things go, we'll end up with 4 vans all at once at this point, but we'll be able to utilize them because that's part of our 5-year plan is expanding out. So hopefully I'll have something showing up on this, and later down the road, when it is time to retire this vehicle, when it sells, if we receive more than $5,000 for it, we keep the first $5,000 and the rest goes to the state. So considering we're transporting to get it and I'm paying 20%, not too bad to keep us going because we are limping right now.
Yeah.
And that is all I have. Oh, no, I do have one more thing. UniFirst has, they're running a bibs and coats special again. They did have to increase from $99 to $110 for bibs and coats. Some of the guys are wanting to go ahead and get the combo set again, and that is all up to the council as far as how often. It's been since December of 2020 when they got them. Some of them, of course, they go through the ringer when they're working on everything. I don't know how many would be interested in purchasing. I know Shane asked me about it when he came last week. So at least one.
I'll find out. I mean, the city paying for it or?
The city pays for the bibs and coat with council approval as needed, replace as needed.
So are you approving it? Because there's no sense in me asking if you're not approving it.
Well, I think if we need them,
Okay,
do you guys agree?
they're
Absolutely.
Carhartt coats, they're good coats and bibs, but that's pretty good price for them, I think.
Yeah, I did some comparison shopping and
Yeah, you
cheaper
couldn't
than
buy a
that.
pair of Carhartts close to that.
Yeah, I think the consensus, Rick, is if you need them, we don't want to blow good money at bad, but if
Right.
you need them, and I understand the circumstances they're used in sometimes is less than ideal, so.
So if just one gets them, we're just gonna do one.
Whomever needs theirs replaced. I mean, there may be
Do
some
we have
that are
some
in
guys
better
that have
shape.
them now?
What's that?
We have some that have them now.
Correct.
We
We
all-
got some in
I
2020.
think all of us have them that are there, but like Ryan, his won't zip up.
I see.
It's a,
Yeah, things like that, I think that's, let's just give them. Just
Yeah.
if they need them.
Just get them.
the zipper's not bad, Ryan just gets fat.
They might work for David.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a pretty good deal, but I
Yeah.
wanted to bring it to you
Yeah.
so that you will be aware.
Need a motion.
Consensus is fine.
Consensus, yeah. So, Rick, you're gonna get her a list then of what you need?
I will.
Okay, perfect.
I have one question on transportation. Do we have enough drivers now? Or
We do for now until we have our expansion ban. So I'm still taking
has Andrew
applications.
started? Or is he?
He started with some of his paperwork. He's scheduled for a training on Wednesday, I believe it is, in Beloit. And then, of course, has to get the medical exam, all of that great fun stuff right along with the drivers. He'll be going, he thought next week, doing some ride-alongs. So we'll have him probably pretty close to going out on his own in January.
That's all you got, Jill?
That's all.
Anybody have anything for Jill? Ready,
No.
Tracy? Dave? I'm on here. RL, you have anything for us?
I do not.
Nothing there. Anything for RL? Nope, Brady? Nope. Tabitha's not here. Governing body reports, I don't have anything. Fire department's pretty quiet right now, and I don't want to jinx them, but not a whole lot going on right now, so that's all good. Tracy, you got anything?
No, I do not.
You got nothing? No one's not here. Dave, you got anything for us?
I do not.
No. Brady?
Nothing.
Okay, couple housekeeping items here. So the next scheduled meeting would fall on Christmas, so we need to come up with a special meeting date that works for all those people involved. So I briefly spoke to Jill, and, there's really nothing that would keep us from not doing it that week or the week prior, the week of the 17th. My thought is to do it the week before Christmas week, and I think we'll have better opportunity for everybody to be here versus travel time. But we don't have to.
Is Rice coming back?
I don't know. You know when Bryce is coming back?
I am unaware.
I don't know either.
You mean if we did like on the 18th?
Yeah, on the 18th, but we could do
Or
it.
that,
We
or
could
later in the
That
week?
week,
We could do it this week, the 18th or the 25th, but I'm afraid people will be gone.
I think that, yeah, the week of Christmas would be tough.
Yeah, so I want to shoot for Monday night or
I have,
Tuesday or?
Monday night, I have a rural water meeting at 6.
Okay.
And a Christmas party there, so
Okay, so Monday's out.
Monday would work for me. But,
That's
I
fine.
mean,
That's fine.
that's just the way it is.
Brady, what works or doesn't work for you?
Monday through Thursday is fine.
I'm available any day after that.
Okay, Dave,
Any day.
how about Tuesday, Jill? Does that work for you?
Absolutely.
Tuesday at 6 o'clock? Special meeting, December the 19th. Can you send out a reminder?
Yeah, I'll be.
19th, what'd you say?
December the 19th, that'll be a Tuesday. 6 o'clock. Okay. got that
I'll
too.
remind you too.
And then
I'll remind you too.
employee bonuses. We haven't done anything there yet. Last year was $500 for full-time employees and $250 for part-time. I think we should do something.
Mhm.
I think what last year's was pretty fair.
Didn't we bump it up last year from previous?
Yeah.
From the year prior, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm good with that unless you guys have a different suggestion. I think
I'm
that's
good with that.
It's a solid number. Okay. So I'd make the motion. Do we need a motion on that?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
make a motion for the 2023 employee bonuses. Same as last year, 500 for the full-time employees and 250 for part-time.
I'll second it.
Motion second by Brady. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Thank you.
So that's everything we have other than Bryce's payroll suggestions, which so there's a couple things I think we should keep in front of us here is, one, we don't have a full council with Dawn and Bryce being gone. And two, I don't think we should jump into something real quick here that we aren't fully confident in what our budgetary numbers are going to allow us to do. Now, I understand we do have some carryover cash, is that correct?
Yes.
And so let's just say, what if we go with what he suggested? What's that going to do to you from a accounting and budgetary standpoint? What's it going to do to the city?
It depends on the fund. The water and wastewater fund can take the hit. The only change over that will be is down the road with that loan.
Mhm.
And they're wanting us to reevaluate the utility billing rates. So
Mhm.
that'll probably get raised, which would help offset that.
And where you already have the 2023 budget set,
You know, that's what we approved in August.
what's that going to do to you if we start changing things?
It depends on where the cost on everything else is. We're pretty tight on general. There are 5 salaries that come out of the general fund that can't at this point be taken out of any other fund. And I think there's some confusion on Dennis Miller's part because he thought that community projects fund was all donations, which it's donations and grants, but it's all allocated for other expenses. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm worried how to keep it all in place. I think obviously everybody deserves a raise. I don't mean that by any means. In the general fund, that's quite a hit, and that is a taxpayer fund. I mean, that is, most of the revenue is generated from property and motor vehicle tax. So it's crunching some numbers. I will know more when we finish December, which isn't much help for this next meeting, but we've taken quite a hit this year in fuel, but now fuel has come down in price. We don't know what it's gonna do.
I have no idea what's gonna be in 6 months anyway.
Yeah, it's always hard. It's hard enough doing the budget in advance. I'm not sure. I know something needs to be done. We obviously need to be competitive. I think in some cases we don't even have some of the people in the right steps as far as like even some of our crew guys. When you look at the grade they're in and the numbers of years they've been here, some of them, there might be 7 years between hiring and they're only 2 steps different or something of that nature. So there needs to be some reorganization, obviously.
Yeah, we need to reset.
It's definitely pushing a little bit. We always have that carryover, which gives us a little bit of room. But I'm running short on ways to save money. We've got things
So
that have to take place, utilities that have to get paid.
if, just for numbers' sake, if we went with something like this, what would the city see on the increase annually in payroll total?
Well, you're gonna have 30,000 for full-time. And then he's suggesting $5 an hour for hourly, which I did a base, if you look at that sheet, I based it on last year's, or this current year, the seasonal. As we know, our pool wasn't open a lot. That's gonna increase some there. And that bumps us up quite a bit.
Do you have any kind of estimate on part, just,
Well, I can add them together. I mean, we have 30,000 with the full-time and then, well, I mean, even just looking real quick. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. Part-timers are probably gonna be, I'm looking at it, right?
Are you counting the swimming pool people and those two?
Yep. He wanted $5 an hour increases on all of them.
I don't know if you can do that with that.
Jill's at my department too, then on my part-time.
Yeah, your part-timers as well.
That's a $5 raise. I never gave a $5 raise in my life.
Well, for seasonal, it's 50% increase in wages.
Exactly.
So something I've been thinking of, because I get shoved it down my throat by Subway all the time about how the bigger cities are going to higher wages. But when they do it, they don't do it in one fell swoop. They don't go from whatever, like Washington was $12 an hour and they went to $20 an hour. They did 3 increments over the course of 2 years. And that way, when that gave the businesses time to adjust their pricing to. So, I mean, it's not the same as what we got, but we don't have to do this in one meeting.
No.
And I think that's what we need to realize.
no, I was thinking about that as well. It's no different than raising our water rates or sewer rates or the price of gas or whatever. Historically, it's small bites and you can soften the blow and regroup and adjust. I thought the same thing as well. You got a rough number?
We're gonna be close to 100,000 just by looking at the.
So rough
thousands
numbers,
different.
$100,000 more to the city per year increase, not On a total, we're just talking an increase.
Yeah, that does not include capers, taxes, those kind of things.
Yeah, I just got my tax statements on Monday or Friday.
You okay?
I'm gonna hurt a little bit.
If you haven't opened yours yet, you're not gonna be okay either. It's a big hit this year.
Yeah.
I think this needs to be looked at more, because that's a big increase.
I think everybody's on board with the realization that we gotta do something.
We do.
Essentially, in the last 2 years, we've had 20% inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
Our employees are making less every year,
Yes, yeah,
even with the raise. Go ahead.
yes.
Something for you to think about. We budgeted in for 2.5 bumps for 23. So why don't you go 3 bumps, and then when the budget comes out in August, September next year, just put it on the calendar, say, we'll give you another 2 or 3 bumps. Because right now, what Bryce is trying to get to, that's how far we're behind. And this has happened twice in my 25 years with the city. We fall behind every other town's wages, and not only the people in town, but then Kelly Ison got us a $500 raise 20 years ago, a month,
Yeah,
because we were that far behind on wages. And we're there again.
Mhm.
But we're budgeted in, Joe and I talked about it, we're budgeted in for 2.5 bumps. And then that budget will be redone and done by August of next year. Budget in whatever you decide to go with, and
is 6 slots is that gonna be close to what we're talking about total?
He's got 5.
He's got 5, okay.
But if we do this over 2 years, we'll probably give them a bump anyway. So
Well, I
in 2
think-
years, it would be 6.
Right. I was just saying between now and next year when we redo do the budget for 24,
This might be an easier pill to swallow.
Well, no, the hourly one, that takes a pretty, I don't know, takes a pretty
And
big
I
hit
think there's
this
gonna
year.
have to be some adjustments on the part-time
that's what,
summer help. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, and his reorganization does change, like our administrative assistant wouldn't get a raise at all. I personally don't know if that's very fair, considering that's where we hired in at, and we have cross-trained all of our duties in there as well. And then, like I said, there's some, when you look at the schedule that's in place right now, that there's some that have some good gaps, there's some that don't, that's just, as people have come in and gotten hired in, say at grade 6 versus grade 4 or something
yeah,
of that
we're
nature.
gonna have to do something with that too, because that's,
I don't think you're wrong, Tracy, but don't forget how difficult it is for us to find part-time help. Because nobody wants to work for us at the amount of money we pay. Like the pool. We had days, how many days were there that we couldn't open the pool because we couldn't hire guard, couldn't
okay,
find guard?
okay, so here's one scenario though,
Or-
we give them a raise and you still got the same problem, they still don't wanna work.
We can take that equation out of the mix if at least we pay them equivalent to what maybe competitive towns are. Or, like our police department, we can't even get an applicant. That's full-time, of course, but, we just can't.
I
find
would
people.
like to know what, like Osborne pays their people for working, well, I'd like part-time, kids, summer help. I'd like to know that kind of thing, because that would help this a lot, because I think that's gonna be way high.
And I think they're going through some of the same battles that you
Yeah.
guys are going through as well.
And,
Yep.
and the mowing, like the kids we used to have mow, which
That's what I
that's
was
changed things. The age thing, that's been a thorn in our side. They have to be 18 now.
Yeah.
But,
I know.
mm-mm,
right?
No,
25.
25, that's right.
to drive anything.
And
Right.
now
They can be on
farmers
the
can't even
residential
hire
board, but
kids
nothing
to work
more.
on their farm unless they gotta take a summer quiz or a summer test to work on a farm, to drive farm equipment.
they've pretty much screwed us on summer help as far as
Oh,
on mine, because I'd have to have a full-time person driving them to places to mow, and, I mean,
we got 4 Hawk vans.
My hope is to push and market for retirees that are looking for some part-time gigs. That's my hope, is to start marketing in February, March for somebody that's looking to fulfill a little bit here and there. It won't be like helping streets or anything of that nature. They're gonna wanna mow. That's probably it.
Yeah, man, you can't say seasoned employees or anything like that.
No, but as soon as you say 25 or older,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
then when I market for our drivers,
Mhm.
I don't have retired on there anywhere.
Yeah,
But when you read through everything, it kind of creates the picture.
well,
for those
creates
that-
it from the standpoint of you have to have a flexible schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it can be done just with wording.
That's true.
Is that what you had to say, Rick, was what you mentioned there? What you asked about having some time to talk there?
I haven't talked it over with the rest of the crew. I've just been thinking on it because that's a big hit to the city to all take in one shot. And we did budget in for 2.5 bumps for this, where we're at right now. So why not wait till, next year and go 3 this year and go 3 next year? I think that would be fair as could be. I mean, everybody is always talking about our benefits, which we have wonderful benefits, but all the comp time we have, we earn that. And we earn the vacation by years being here of service. It's not, it's a great benefit, but still, we're earning that. You can't live on benefits.
Yeah.
No. Can't pay your bills on benefits.
Yeah.
How hard would it be if we did, just hypothetically next meeting, if we did 200 and then next July did another 100? That would be that 2.5 that's budgeted, because it'd be half a year for the 100. Would that be terrible in the office?
It's already budgeted for 2.5.
Well, I mean budget, but actually administrating it that way.
When I budget it pretty tight for that, with
Yeah.
some leeway room, because we never know, bonuses, or if somebody needs paid out some of their comp time that they've earned or overtime, which, like I said, I love the fact they use it, because our budget doesn't take the hit that way. But sometimes, they get, if we've got a lot of snow or a lot of water breaks, they've got some and they'll pay out. Obviously, that's some of that little half bonus and extra. We've got the budget ability at this point without raising taxes for 2.5.
Yeah.
And that's what was approved into that budget in August.
Yeah. Brady, you took the words out of my mouth. You beat me to it. I was thinking something over the course of,
I mean, we always give them raises in January 1st, but if they got a little raise in July, I'm sure they'd love it.
Yeah, we're still talking about 3 bumps, not 5.
Yeah.
right.
Well, I'm still on the 2-year idea.
Yeah, but the way I see it, if you're 2 years down the road from January 1st, then you're just falling behind.
There's another 8% inflation.
No, maybe, not necessarily,
We
maybe.
get a new president. too.
But just like I heard on the radio the other day, they were talking about all the inflation of the grocery store and the gas, everything you do, your utilities in your home, everything's up over 20%. And what's the chances of that going down? They just don't happen very often.
Yep.
And that's where
Gasoline's a little different, it fluctuates a lot, but your groceries, your utilities at your house, auto parts stores,
Well, I feel it too. I assure you. We all
Yeah.
do. I mean,
I know you do.
everybody does.
They're not gonna go away, they're not gonna get better.
And I think we're gonna see next summer, regardless of where we are, we could stay right where we are, and we're gonna have it with the revenue neutral rate. We skipped by every year. We haven't raised everything way up. We found more ways to save, which we'll continue to do. But even if we didn't, we're still gonna have
Yeah.
to probably increase a little bit. It may be a little different scenario this summer when we're doing the hearing. And so some of that can be incorporated and then known. Because it is so, because on our side, it's the same. Our utilities are rising, all those costs are rising too. Unfortunately, that's,
So your thought, Brady, was 2 bumps by year end?
Yeah. I want to get to 3 by July.
What if we did 3 bumps at your end?
We can do 3, January if we can handle it in the budget. I just don't want to kill the budget.
I would rather at least be at our 2.5 that we budgeted, if not 3.
I mean, if we budgeted 2.5, we can surely push a little bit and do 3.
Yeah, it's not that much different. The big thing would be to really take a look at those hourlies when we get ready
Right.
to do, I mean, we've obviously got
Yeah,
hourly
that's-
employees right now, but when we come into the seasonal help, then just kind of seeing where we are.
What's minimum wage right now?
$7.25.
You know, you give somebody $15.
You can't hire anybody at $7.25 right now. The
Okay.
minimum wage might be $7.25, but
I'm
it's
just
not.
saying,
It's not
I mean,
$7.25.
you're looking at high
The
school
market has
kids
set higher than that.
$15 an hour.
All on the subway started 9,
What's been?
Well,
$7.25.
problem is like McDonald's, Wednesday, we're gonna pay $26 an hour, you know, we'll give you a sign-on bonus. You can't do that in these small towns. No way.
Tracy, they're doing it all over in our town.
Where?
And go to Tractor Supply and start off not knowing anything at $18 an hour.
Casey's
Right
at 12.
Casey's, you can go there and start, you can,
Well, why
Name
would
your
you
own
get a
hours.
lifeguard for 15 to just set it?
you can name your own hours. You can get paid daily if you want, and they start you out at $12 an hour.
Okay, but our hourly deal here, Bryce has got is $15 an hour for a kid that's gonna sit at that pool and stand out in the sun all day long. And
I don't think we need to.
Depends on if you want it open or not. I'm not saying that there's kids that you're gonna hire,
I
but
can say you.
if you raise the wages, you're not gonna pay it anyway if they don't apply.
But I don't think giving them 15 is gonna make more people apply for that job. These kids don't wanna work nowadays. I don't know if you guys have figured it out, but I have.
Unless school sports have kind of taken over summer.
Yeah,
That
kids
was
don't
some-
have.
Well, they don't even get a summer. It's all sports or it's all something. It's year round.
That's what we battled this last year with the ones we had, is their summer schedules were so tight with their sport activities.
Don't matter anyway. You can't hire them at the city because they ain't old enough.
It's a tough battle.
I can't remember. We used to have 5 or 6.
Seven.
Or more, 7
For a few
maybe.
years in a row.
Jeez, I remember all those kids that used to work at the city.
They used to come in during spring break and get their applications and have them in before spring.
Yeah, they
break
couldn't
was
wait to
over.
work for the city.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was when everybody was paying $5 and $6 an hour, and we started at 7.25 or
Yeah.
something. But you're right, there's not the population of kids that wanna work,
No.
and they don't wanna work for $8 an hour when they can go help some farmer and he's paying them $20 an hour. You know, that's where a lot of our boy help is gone.
That's something we gotta remember too, is we don't have as much summer help, so that money is there. as
Another
well.
thing I want to bring up is you gotta realize that we lost 4 top end pay scale old people in the last 2 years. Bill, Dale, Terry Joe, John Bowden, and those have all been replaced with bottom line. I mean, somebody's moved up in their spot, but not their pay scale. We've hired Trace and David at the bottom of the line, so we've saved money there too.
So what's your, as an employee, Rick, what's your gauge on a 3 bump opportunity by year end?
I think 3 bumps fair, as long as we look at it again at the next budget. And
I think we all realize that we gotta do something. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's pretty obvious. At the same time, we can't
Bankrupt this.
bankrupt the city.
exactly, I understand that too,
But as we see where the dust settles and where we have to make adjustments into how we operate, I think that's gonna be the simplest opportunity for us to try to make an adjustment that's well-deserved, and then look at it again.
but another thing I wanted to bring up is
Isn't his
We've
time
got-
up?
we've got several guys that are up there in age, you know, And if you're not paying a competitive wage, you're not gonna replace those jobs. It's not any different than summer help. Even in the last 10 years, we've opened up jobs and not got any applications, full-time help. You know, I mean, the workforce just isn't out there. They don't wanna work.
Right.
And before long, you're gonna be down to no city crew. Either that or you're gonna have to jack your wages up to get them there, and that's not fair to us that have been there. And we know everything, we take care of this city. Pretty soon, you're gonna be hiring somebody that don't know a damn thing about it, and you're gonna have to be paying them $25 an hour.
Right.
Or you're not gonna have any city help.
I realize that. And we don't, you know, I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody when I say we don't want you guys and gals looking for jobs elsewhere because we can't pay a competitive wage. So
I know you don't.
give us just a little bit of time so we can work through this. And we'll squeeze a little more blood out of this tournament.
Well, Chris, I think we all understand. I'm like Rick, I'm sitting there, Jill kind of told me what you guys was looking at, and I'm sitting there, there ain't no way that you can, feasibly do that with, right now, just one big jump like that. And like, I had 2 officers that I thought would probably stay with me, and they didn't want to work the hours.
Mhm.
One was bored, the other one didn't like having to be on call, and that's just part of small town law enforcement. So.
So it wasn't what they
If
were
we can increase.
paid necessarily then is what you're saying. It was because they didn't like the,
Because the one we raised, because we went by,
right,
we went above what we've paid anybody,
yep,
and, and might be the point that, most of my people might be part-time people. I mean, if we get the wages up to where I can offer it, there's other departments that, guys want to work some extra, but they won't pay overtime, so they can come work here, and they're certified people, so you don't have to send them through school and stuff, and you use part-time people, we don't have the insurance and some of those benefits, you know what I'm saying, on my side of it, so. And it's still hard to find part-time people that want to do this, you know what I'm saying, because I've got 2 right now, and they work some, but, I think if they seen that they could make a little more money, I might, be able to get somebody to apply too, you know what I'm saying, but I don't want to.
Well, how about this?
Through the.
How about, excuse me, if you take the 3-bump concept back to your boys and propose it, see, feel them out on how they feel about if we can put something like that together. And then Jill, can you see what that would do to us on your end?
Yeah.
To see if we can make it cash, make a bankroll. And then on the meeting that we have rescheduled for the special meeting, we can possibly make some adjustments. But the part-time thing, we gotta figure something out there.
mhm.
That is, I don't disagree with you. That's a substantial jump.
It's a lot of money.
I agree with you. I think you need to wait till you got a full crew, so you're probably gonna have to go back through all this with us again anyway.
We will.
Yeah.
But
that's all right.
at that.
it's frustrating for all of us to have a brand new pool facility not open because we can't find help. And I'm not saying it's because they don't want to work, but I would feel better about it saying, at least we tried. And if we can't go above and beyond what everybody else pays and still not find the help, then it's not our fault.
Yep.
We did what we could. Not saying we got to give them the moon, but at least competitive within reason. You disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with it. I'd like to know what other, like maybe Phillipsburg pays their pool people,
I'll just find out for you. I'll go.
I think I've got Phillipsburg
Kensington.
and some of
I'll just get
Osborne's.
Stockton and Norton and Phillipsburg.
Kensington.
I think I have
Kensington.
Stockton and North Kensington.
Kensington's $18 an hour for the lifeguards.
They might be the higher ones, because most of the cities that I got
Red Bluff,
stuff from are all pretty much where we are or not too much above it. But I'll reach out to the ones that didn't answer and kind of see. But I don't know how many of them included the lifeguards on there.
What annually, or what is, like, say, just, I'll just use Rick for example, like insurance for him a year, what's that come to?
It's $2,200 a month.
But I can't answer that because that's HIPAA
Oh,
for an individual employee.
I see.
I can. I
But
just
your
looked at
capers
it
and stuff
today.
is on here.
Mhm.
What is directly affected by the wages is on that last page.
Oh,
About page
Capers,
4.
D&D, Social Security, the city share
okay.
of Social Security, capers, Medicare, work comp, and unemployment, based on like the work comp, what they just quoted us for 2024. That is the work comp amount, the unemployment based on what they gave us for the 2024 budget. And then the capers, it goes over 9% January 1st. So the change is listed there. And so at the bottom, like for example, for the full-time staff that's currently employed, the increase in capers would be $7,222.80. It's $61,948. Social Security bumps up $2,282. It's $47,637. Medicare is $11,010. Work comp $17,974. And the reason that's less than the full work comp is because firefighters and the general, all of that aren't included in this. And then unemployment.
Gotcha.
And the part-time Social Security and Medicare work comp and unemployment is based on the hours that were worked in 2023. And we have one employee that has retired from Capers, so anything he makes over $25,000 in a year, the city pays 30% to Capers.
That sounds good to me, Chris. I'll pick their brains tomorrow at work and table it till, hopefully we'll have a full council on my team. There's no guarantee of that either, but
Sure. I think it'd be a good opportunity for a place to start if we can make it work for the payer and the payee.
I think in the next 2 years, we gotta get this fixed. I know we can't, I just don't think we can do it in one budget year.
Any other discussion? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Dave,
Second.
second by Brady. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
I'm ready to swear I'll tell you that.
Yeah, by yourself.
Harold Holzman's a city manager.
Christmas
Oh.
program.
6 months ago.
Oh.
He's been there 38 years, been city manager.